Hey everyone. So, my title that I put out there tonight was Has Dysfunction Become Your New Normal? Um, it's a few reasons that kind of was on my heart today. Um, Clients I dealt with, loved ones I dealt with, um, myself, right? Um, I see in our current culture that dysfunction has across the board in so many dynamics become the new normal, right? People dismiss their life as just being normal, right? Everybody goes through it. Everybody's done this. Why is this foggy? It seems foggy. Um, but people feel like their normal is just normal. Everybody goes through it, right? We've all had a narcissist in the family, or we've all been through something bad, right? Or somebody's gotten sick, or um, just that, we say these words so cliche now, hurt people, hurt people. Yeah, they do. However, some of us have really, really, and myself included, right? I only say this because, believe me, I get it. Um, I was thinking about something I went through when I was thinking about dysfunctionality and it becoming normal. I mean, if I'm 100% honest, my entire life has been dysfunction. And even though I knew it wasn't normal, I maintained it as if it was, right? Like everybody's gone through crap. I never want to judge someone's scenario and act like because mine was different that there was any less trauma or hurt or dysfunction that was birthed out of that. Sorry. Um, I was thinking about this time. It's probably about 17 years ago, 18 years ago, early on in me and my husband's relationship. And we were sitting in South Dallas. This was when he was a kingpin. Uh, he's not that way now. But we were sitting on Pine Street in South Dallas, and it almost turned out to be like this riot in this house, right? It's a trap house way deep in the hood. And to get their attention and calm them down, he raised up a gun and fired it off in the air. And it literally just, everybody stood to attention. Quiet, whatever drama they had been dealing with wasn't an issue then because he meant business and they knew it. And so, I look at that and I think, oh my God, like that was normal to them, to me, to him, as a normal reaction, as jacked up as it is, right? It was completely jacked up. Most of us, or at least most people I know, they couldn't tell you they have a story where a gun went off near their head. Take that back. I do know quite a few people, sad as it is. But if I talk to a general public, per se, right, they wouldn't say that that was a normal thing of their upbringing. Having a gun planted on them in their face by a family member, or being abused in a violating way, whether it's sexual, physical, or even just hella hard emotional. A narcissist will make you think that that shit's normal, but it's not. I know a lot of parents that just think like kids and parents and spouses yelling throughout the house constantly is some normal. Even never having enough, right? A bill coming in, not having enough for it, always having to rob Peter to pay Paul, right? There's always this element of dysfunction. And we just have to be careful, right? And to be able to be aware of that we cannot glorify something that is actual dysfunction and is causing us pain, trauma, and planting an emotional seed, and call it normal. We just can't. As a society, we have to stop. We have to stop and actually call out, excuse my language, the fuck shit for fuck shit, right? Um, you can become so accustomed to dysfunction that the mere sight of stability, you'll literally think you hit the jackpot. And it's kind of crazy. It's like, nah, sis, that was just dressed up as something better, right? That's all that was. Like, it wasn't normal. It was literally just dressed up dysfunction. So I want us to be able to have better discernment as we are trying to evolve and get to a better place, that dressed up dysfunction is not normal. And we have to quit settling for it, and we've got to start fighting back against it. Whether that be a toxic relationship, healing from really, really traumatic stuff. People go to therapists and counselors all the time that I deal with, and they are not healed. I had a client today tell me that they've never fully surrendered in any process that they were in. And that was a really sobering moment, right? These people pay thousands of dollars for people with the highest credentials to help them with something that they've been struggling with. And as a practitioner, to not know if your client has fully gotten the benefit of what you can give them. And typically, what I see when people decide to say, okay, this is not normal, the person or the people or things that are causing the dysfunction will literally look at you like you're crazy, because God forbid you don't want to live in some dysfunction, right? This is a resistance that we can all expect. But I just want to encourage you today that if you are dealing with some dysfunctional relationships, dysfunctional belief systems, and what I like to say, just generational, right? Because so much of my life was so toxic and dysfunctional that it was my normal. And I'm acclimated to those type of things. Those scenarios don't even faze me. But that's not normal, right? It took away and so much from me. And I just want you to discern it, and I want you to seek out the help that you need with it. And the first step is awareness. So I don't really have a whole lot to talk about tonight, outside of the fact that a lot of people I love tonight are suffering with really, really toxic dysfunction. And because it's their normal, they're struggling to get out. So don't let that be you. Right? If you can see the dysfunction, call it for what it is and take the necessary steps. And if you don't know what those steps are, then talk to someone who does, who's been there before and has actually proven that they can get on the other side of it. So I'm one, but there's plenty of us out there with our arms open and ready to help you and ready to talk to you. So I don't know if you've got any dysfunction going on in your life. I still, even as a coach and whatnot, deal with dysfunction, but not in the same way. It doesn't affect me, and it sure the hell isn't my normal. So I love you guys, and I'm praying for your healing. I'm praying that you will stay consistent with what you've put in front of you, your goals. And I pray that you become aware and call it out and start being the change in your family, in your workplace, in your circle. Be the first one. It's not easy. Being a pioneer of anything is not easy. But we as a society cannot keep dressing up dysfunction in every shape, whether it's politically, spiritually. Like, really, you could apply it to so many aspects of what the world around us has created for us, right? But we cannot thrive in a dysfunctional, toxic atmosphere. So I encourage you tonight to look in the areas that are dysfunctional and figure out what functional actually looks like for you, right? I'm not saying there's like one cut way for each person. But like for me, being around people who put a gun to my head or up in the air around me or whatever, that's not freaking normal, right? And those that are dealing with that, it is normal to them. So those of you who are on the other side of it, give those other people grace. Meet them where they're at. But be aware and give them The love and compassion and awareness that dysfunction dressed up is not normal, right? And I don't even really like the word normal because I think it's just such a broad blanket statement. I think unique, walking out your purpose, your calling, and your passion, that should be the new normal, right? People walking out the gifts that God gave them and helping and impacting the world in the way that they were truly meant to, that should be the new normal that we're encouraging. So if you are stuck in it, send me a message, an email, text message. I'm open. If I'm not in session with a client or in a meeting, I'll be glad to get back with you and book a call to go over your particular situation. But tonight, look at the areas that dysfunction plays a role in your life or your loved ones. And let's try to bring awareness to it, and more importantly, the healing that goes around it, so we can create a much better normal, right? So I love you guys. I'm about to go enjoy my hubby and my daughter before we go to bed. We're night owls, but I homeschool, so I got options. Anyways, I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.